Let's bring in the Shadow Trade Minister, Kevin Hogan, live now for his reaction. Liberation Day out of Washington. Realistically, was there any way Australia could have avoided this, in your view, Kevin Hogan?
Yeah, look, Kieran, I think there is. And just to go back to your Liberation Day comment, I actually think history will judge this more of a bit of a judgment day. I don't think this is going to go well for the United States. I don't think it's going to go well for global growth, which is obviously a bigger concern for Australia. As we know, US consumers are now going to pay more money, and obviously I think it's going to, with the trade war that may start, will be bad for us as a global war, as a tariff war may involve. But Kieran, we could have, I think, if we know Albanese's had issues about getting a meeting or getting a phone call. There have been some exemptions made today, and two countries have got some pretty major exemptions, with both Canada and Mexico. They have been hit with the steel and aluminium tariffs and the car tariffs, but a lot of the goods, because they have existing FTAs with the US, a lot of those goods have had exemptions. So, I think Trump's a transactional leader. I think with a stronger leader, we could have got some more exemptions.
But they didn't get off scot-free. You're suggesting Australia could have done that?
Well, I'm suggesting that we maybe could have got more exemptions than we did. I mean, we had a blanket tariff put on us of 10%. Obviously, you've just alluded there's some critical minerals that they don't have access to anywhere else, so they've exempted those. But Canada and Mexico have had some quite major exemptions. Most of the goods within their FTA agreements that they have, except for steel and aluminium and some of the car manufacturing parts, there's been exemptions given. So, and I think certainly ongoing, I mean, okay, all cards are on the table now. Trump's played all his cards. I think certainly ongoing, there's a lot of leverage to have to get further exemptions.
Do you think that a lot of voters, though, would look at this and think, well, Trump, given his want to pursue tariffs, he said it for 40 years, in fact, that he's a fan of tariffs, well before he entered politics, that the fact that we're on the lowest tier, the weakest tariffs of any nation, I think maybe the UK was alongside Australia, but the rest are copping a lot more in terms of imports.
Yeah, look, and that's argument to be put. You could look at it too, maybe some of the tariffs on some of our exports and our other industries, also agriculture and other industries, may have a lower tariff than some of our competitors who are going into the US, and you can say it's a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are going to unfold here, Kieran, but my concern is, and again, we don't know how all the dominoes are falling from this day forward, but my concern is the US have imposed tariffs on a lot of countries. I think some countries, especially when you look at like the Chinas, the European Union, if they'll now retaliate with more tariffs of their own, we could go into a period of a trade war. History shows us that when that happens, global growth would contract enormously. And for a country like us, Australia, which exported $650 billion worth of goods and services last year to the rest of the world, an economic bonanza for us, we would be impacted by that if global growth slowed. So that's my greater concern here.
Are you worried about the support for the alliance, the Australia-US alliance, given how pivotal it is to our security, the umbrella that it's provided for so many years? But when Australians look at this and think, well, why are we paying $1 billion for submarines decades in the future when we cop tariffs?
Look, I'm not worried about the alliance at that level, Kieran. I think that AUKUS, for example, and the treaty that we have with America will outlive Donald Trump's presidency. I think it will outlive Anthony Albanese's prime ministership, and indeed AUKUS, the arrangement we also have with the US and the UK, I think will outlive the current UK's role as prime minister as well. I mean,
but
they're
you need
very
public
strong,
goodwill, don't you, for that stuff? For longevity, you need public goodwill.
You do, and certainly I understand the point you're making, and look, I think Australians have every right to be disappointed in the tariffs that America put on us today, but I think the strength of the relationship is stronger than that. And again, I believe, maybe wrongly, that time will prove that this is a bad policy for America and may well reverse in the short to medium term. I think, I'd be watching the US stock market very closely. I mean, Trump's close advisors right now are all pro-tariffs, but, if this hits their markets and starts to impact on people's shareholdings and their wealth, I mean, he may be start to listen to other people. So I'm a long-term optimist about trade. I'm a free trade believer, and I think that will come through in the end because it's better policy.
Kevin Hogan, Shadow Trade Minister, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Kieran.